Okay.
Alright, this is take one of Amy's interview.
And take two, because someone didn't
We'll take two. It's take two.
Hi, Owen.
Hi.
How are you?
Gran.
Do you want to tell me a bit about yourself?
My name is Owen. I'm 6'3".
Because that's important.
Yeah, it is important, ladies. Let's see what else. I play drums.
That's cool.
Play a lot of video games too.
What's your favourite game?
My favorite game. Well, my favorite game series is Assassin's Creed.
Do you want to show us your tattoo?
You can't. It's not. You can't really see it very well, but there's the tattoo.
It's very cool.
I have two brothers, a mother, and a father. And I'm not sure how many uncles and cousins and all that. So, yeah, that's me.
And are you studying at Tech? And if so, what are you studying? How's it going?
Yeah, I'm studying. I'm studying at Northwest Regional College up at Derry, and I'm studying creative media. And I'm on my last year, which is my HND, which is Higher National Diploma.
I'd like to say thanks to Owen because he is the one that got the equipment for today. So, shout out Owen.
Love you.
So basically, do you ever feel like you don't fit in?
Yeah. Sometimes. Not all the time, but
Not
sometimes.
all the time. Only sometimes.
Yeah.
And when do you feel like this? Could you give us prime examples of a time in your life where you didn't fit in? Or you'd like to fit in better?
Where I didn't fit in, probably primary school all the way up to secondary school.
And how was that for you? How'd you deal with that?
Terrible. Growing up, I went to two different primary schools. I went to for about 3 years, and then I went to a for the last 4 years, and and down at the I made a few friends, and then down at I only mainly had one friend at a time. I like made friends with this guy. We stopped hanging out. Made friends with the guy. Stopped hanging out, and then there was this last guy, who I won't name, who was my best friend at the time. And growing up, we it just our friendship wasn't really. We got along and we had similar interests and we played like a lot of video games together, but he was not a very good friend. And obviously, since like at least from my point of view, since we were young and we were it's time for us to grow up because we were teenagers and all that. I've pretty much forgiven him for all that. If he was still doing that past the age of 18, then that's a whole other thing. But he was, it takes time, at least that's what I think. But after a while, I just didn't talk to him anymore. And then whenever I got to secondary school, I made a few friends there and a few friends that I actually recognized. So yeah, for like the first 4 years of secondary school, it was kind of shit. The final year got a lot better because I actually had a group of friends that I hung around with. So.
Do you ever feel like you maybe don't fit in with your friends? Like currently? How is your social life as of now?
As of now, I think I have a pretty decent amount of friends. It's a very small group, probably a maximum of maybe 10 people who I'm pretty close with, or at least I genuinely hang around with. But I would prefer to, yeah, I think my small group of friends is really good because, well, if you had, like, I don't know, I don't get people who have, like, too many friends.
Yeah.
Get me? So, like, you need a small group. A maximum of 10 is enough for me. I mean, there's, like, within that 10, there's only, like, 2 or 3 that I really trust with, like, a lot of stuff. But, yeah, I think my social circle has improved over the years.
Do you ever feel like there was a time where you maybe didn't fit in with your current friends, or have you always, are these your friends? These are your people that you will always fit in with?
Well, obviously at like the start of the friendship, I probably felt like I wouldn't fit in, but after like chatting with them and hanging out with them for a while, it like evolved, I guess. Like with all the people I've met over the years, it takes a while to get into. to like be properly friends with them and all that. So it just, I think it's mostly just with my friends. I guess it just took time. That's all.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like there was a time in your life where you tried too hard to fit in?
Yeah, just before I was about to leave secondary school. Um, it was fifth year, and all of us were going around to the open days around Northwest Regional, and we were all seeing our options. And I was scared to go out on my own and like go pursue my own thing because having my friends around was like comfortable for me. But I had to learn like later on that I have to do my own thing, even if it means not really seeing my friends as often. So like whenever we came around to the open days, um, they were like, "Oh, we might do something in engineering or like something like that, or like mechanics, just something to do with cars or like technology and all that." And I was like, "Okay, I'll go do that," but I didn't know jack shit about like car mechanics or anything like that, engineering. Uh, but then eventually, after a while, I met my best friend, current best friend,
Part
who
time husband.
part-time husband, love him dearly. Uh, um, met my best friend, and he introduced me to this creative media, like films and like interviews and all this stuff to work with like cameras and all that. Because he had a few projects that I needed help with coming through the last year of secondary school, so I went and helped him, and I really enjoyed it. And in secondary school, or at least when it came to like actually going in to apply for stuff on the open days, I came in and I was originally going to apply for IT, and then the woman looked at me and told me, "Listen, this doesn't really seem like your thing." Like it wasn't that she wasn't going to accept me. She was just like, "This doesn't really sound like you want to do it." And I was just like, "Well, I want to work with cameras and all that stuff." And then she pointed me to the media desk, and the rest is history. I've been here 4 years now. So
And do you feel like you fit in here?
I fit it. Yeah, yeah. I well at least for like the first few years, yeah, I fit in. But then I went to the Limavady campus, made some friends there, and we all hung out all the time. But then I moved here, and I knew some of the people in my class, and I got to know some of the other people, but we don't really. Well, at least from me, I don't really interact with them that much. At least from like, I wouldn't
So
have like a casual conversation. Like anytime I speak to them, it kind of feels forced.
you would say that you maybe don't fit in with them?
Yeah.
Okay. And does that affect you? Are you happy with that? Do you
No, no, because I mean, this is just class. I have friends outside of school, so
and do you like do you wish you fit in with them? Do you you don't care?
I don't really care. I'm happy with my group of friends that I've made. So
Yeah. That's good. If there's anyone out there maybe struggling with the feelings of not fitting in, what advice would you give them?
just wait a while. It takes, at least for me, it took all the whole way through primary school, all the way up past secondary school before I actually found some like decent people to hang around because well, it's you just have to like cut out whoever's not a decent guy or decent friend at least. So it takes time. So you just got to be patient, I guess.
So you're saying that eventually you'll find the right people and you will fit in.
Yeah. Well, even if they're like, yeah, they may not fit in with like society. Like they may not fit in with the popular people. They may be like total losers or whatever. But hey, better than nothing.
Would you call yourself a total loser?
Definitely. Look at me, total loser.
Do you feel like you fit into society?
Well, I have a job. I go to school. I have a decent education.
So
I'd say so.
yeah. How would you define fitting in? What is fitting in to you?
Fitting in is, I don't really use it that much. Well, I guess fitting in to me is it's finding a place that you like that you feel comfortable with. You know, it's like it doesn't. It's like this. Okay, so at school, obviously, you have different you have different groups of people, you have different cliques of all different ages, of all different genders, and all like different backgrounds, and the way they style themselves, the way they talk, the way they act, and like their personal motives and all this stuff. So, uh, if you find like a group of people that you don't really fit in with, like you're trying to force yourself to be in it, and it just doesn't work, well, that's fine. You need to find your own space. So look for someone that's looking for someone, and then just fit in with them. I guess that sounds really bad out of context. What I mean to say is just just wait a while, and eventually you'll find your place.
Yeah.
Even if that place is like not as popular.
What would you say to people that maybe feel like they need to change themselves to fit in with society or groups of people that they wouldn't necessarily fit into? Like they want to change, or they feel like they have to change who they are to fit in.
I wouldn't say don't change like at all. Don't change yourself, obviously. But if you do see something in you that needs improvement, then obviously improve upon it. Like for me, a few years ago, I just had no filter whatsoever. I would say whatever came into my head, even if it was the most offensive thing ever, and people hated me for it. And I had to learn, like, people. I need to grow a filter and learn when to speak and when not to speak and when to keep my mouth shut.
And
So
in doing that, that has helped you
that
fit
is
in with people more.
that has helped me fit in with the general people, not as like friends, but just like I get along with a
You
lot
are
more people.
accepted as a person.
I'm
and they
accepted as a person, obviously, because you're going through school. It's all about improvement mostly. So, as I say, don't change who you are. If you like something, well, that's fine, but do try and improve, like, on some other stuff.
Okay. Well, I think that's about it. Thank you for doing my interview.
Yep.
Do you want to give a shout out to anything while you're here? Any socials you would like to throw out? Anything that's important to you? Any final messages to the people?
Sad backwards is das, and that's not good.
Thanks. And cut.